Welcome to Have More Babies. I'm your host. Today we're diving into something really vital for our kids' health that honestly often seems to fly under the radar. We're talking about uric acid. And its crucial, sometimes kind of silent connection to kidney health in children. We're drawing insights from a key article today, Uric Acid, the Overlook Factor in Pediatric Kidney Health. That's from Omega Pediatrics, our aim, to give you a quick, clear, comprehensive understanding. Okay, let's get right into it. Why is uric acid actually important for kids, not just adults?
Yeah, that's exactly the right place to start. It's fascinating, how often we hear uric acid and our minds just jump straight to adult issues, like gout. We almost think of it as an adult problem.
Right.
But this source makes it really clear it plays a profoundly crucial role in a child's well-being, too. It's what the article calls a silent accumulator.
Silent accumulator.
Exactly. Meaning it can build up without really obvious signs. So understanding it is just essential for parents to, help safeguard their children's long-term health, especially while their bodies are still developing.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So maybe before we dive too deep, for listeners who aren't completely familiar, let's cover the basics. What exactly is uric acid? And why do our bodies even produce it? Is it just a natural waste product we need to get rid of?
You're definitely on the right track with waste product.
Right.
But let's add a little more detail. Uric acid forms when the body breaks down substances called purines.
Purines, okay.
Yeah, and purines are interesting. They're found in some foods we eat, like red meat, certain types of seafood, but they're also really fundamental. They're naturally present in every cell in our bodies, part of our DNA and RNA.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So making some uric acid is totally normal, even necessary, just part of everyday cell turnover.
Yeah.
Our kidneys, though, they're pretty amazing filters. They constantly work to pull uric acid out of the blood and send it out in urine, trying to keep things in a really delicate balance.
Right, the balance.
Exactly. Problems pop up when that balance gets disrupted. Maybe the body produces too much. Or, and this is key for kids, the kidneys don't quite excrete enough. That leads to buildup. Keeping this balance isn't just about feeling good day to day. It's absolutely essential for the kidneys to develop properly and stay healthy long term, especially those growing pediatric kidneys.
I have to admit, I mostly associated uric acid with gout in adults, so hearing it's so critical for children and their developing kidneys, that really gets my attention. That delicate balance you mentioned sounds so crucial. So the big question then is, what makes these levels get too high in kids? It can't just be like adults eating too much steak or something, can it?
That's a great point. It's definitely more complicated than just adult lifestyle stuff. It's usually multifaceted, and the source points to four main culprits parents should probably know about. First, yes, dietary influences can play a role, even in kids. Foods high in purines, red meat, some seafood, even certain sugary drinks, which can actually boost uric acid production, they can contribute.
Sugary drinks too, wow.
Yeah. So for kids, managing these choices is important, especially if there are other risk factors. It's not about, eliminating everything, but just being mindful. A diet heavy in processed foods or sweet drinks could be a factor parents might not connect to kidneys.
That's really eye-opening, the processed food and soda connection. Okay, what else?
Right. So second is genetic predisposition. If there's a family history of kidney problems or even gout, that can definitely increase a child's chances of having higher uric acid levels.
Okay.
It's not about blame, obviously, but awareness. Knowing your family health history is a really powerful tool for early detection and talking proactively with your pediatrician. Third, something to consider is medication side effects. Certain drugs, sometimes even common ones for childhood conditions, can unfortunately affect uric acid levels. This just highlights how important it is to always communicate fully with your doctors about all medications your child is taking and any concerns you might have. They need the whole picture.
That's such a good reminder. Everything's connected in their little systems.
It really is. And finally, there are underlying health conditions. Things like leukemia or psoriasis, for instance, can lead to higher uric acid because of increased cell turnover. So regular checkups and just being aware of these potential risk factors help catch things early. But the main thing is it's rarely just one cause. It's often a mix of these factors, which is why looking at the whole child is so important.
And the article calls it that silent accumulator, noting that high levels might not show obvious symptoms right away. That feels really concerning for parents, right? Because you don't know what to look for. What should we be looking out for if it's often so subtle?
Yeah, it is tricky. And that's exactly why we need to talk about these signs. They can be subtle, almost like whispers, but they can have, significant consequences if they're missed. One of the more serious things is kidney stones. These are little crystal formations in the kidneys. They can cause discomfort, sometimes really sharp pain in the back or side. If they aren't addressed, they can lead to serious kidney function problems down the road.
Ooh, kidney stones in kids sound awful.
They can be. Then kids might experience joint pain, especially places like the big toe, knees, elbows. This is such a critical warning sign in growing kids that gets missed so often. People just write it off as growing pain.
Oh, totally. I could absolutely see myself doing that. Oh, they're just growing. Or they played hard yesterday. How does a parent even start to tell the difference between those subtle signs and just normal kid aches and pains?
That's the million-dollar question for parents, isn't it?
Right.
And it's a really good one. Nothing beats a doctor's check, of course, but parents can look for patterns. For joint pain, is it always the same joint? Is it bad enough to wake them up at night? Does it not get better with rest? Or maybe some children's pain reliever? I've heard stories where kids complained for months about knee pain, and only after a really thorough check did the doctor think to test uric acid. It just shows how these little whispers can become bigger issues if we don't listen closely. And the third thing is fatigue. Just general tiredness, feeling run down. Now, fatigue is super common with lots of childhood stuff, obviously.
Right. Very common.
But considering uric acid widens the possibilities for doctors. Is the fatigue persistent, even with good sleep? Is it affecting their usual energy for playing or school? Noticing these patterns gives your doctor important clues. It helps them sort out typical kid stuff from something potentially more specific. These subtle signs really push for being proactive.
That's incredibly helpful, thinking about patterns and persistence. Okay, so for parents listening who are recognizing some of these things and thinking, maybe this applies to my child, what happens next? How is this diagnosed? And if high levels are found, what does intervention look like?
Okay, so the diagnostic process is usually pretty straightforward. The main tool is a blood test that gives a clear number for the uric acid level in the blood. If that's high, then usually more investigation follows. A urine test is also really important. It gives clues about kidney function, like how well they're actually filtering and getting rid of the uric acid, helps figure out if it's overproduction or maybe under excretion.
Okay, blood and urine tests.
Right. And then if they suspect kidney stones or maybe other issues, an ultrasound might be done. It's non-invasive, just uses sound waves to get a picture of the kidneys, check for stones or any structural things. Once elevated levels are confirmed, managing it is usually a holistic approach, tailored specifically to that child.
A tailored, holistic approach. That makes total sense. Can you break down what those management strategies usually involve?
Sure. First up is often dietary modifications. This means, like we talked about, limiting those high purine foods, but also really encouraging a diet full of fruits, vegetables, whole grains. Good choices that support overall health and help reduce uric acid buildup. Think colorful plates, lots of fresh stuff.
Makes sense. Diet first.
Often, yeah. Second, in some cases, medication might be needed. The source mentions drugs like allopurinol, which basically works by reducing how much uric acid the body makes, helps bring those levels down. But it's crucial to remember these are always tailored solutions. Any medication decision is made carefully with the child's doctor, looking at their specific situation. And then there's something simple but remarkably powerful: hydration.
Water.
Exactly. Just encouraging your child to drink plenty of water all day long. It helps flush out extra uric acid, supports the kidneys, and seriously reduces the risk of things like kidney stones. It's a basic habit with huge benefits for their whole system.
It's a great reminder, isn't it? Sometimes the simplest things, like drinking enough water, can have such a big preventative impact. So looking beyond treatment, what can families do to maintain healthy levels and really promote long-term kidney health? How do we lean into prevention?
Prevention really boils down to building healthy habits for life. And it starts early. The source highlights 3 key things families can focus on. First, regular checkups. Absolutely critical for catching things early, especially if there's that family history of kidney issues we mentioned.
Right, the checkups.
Monitoring levels and kidney function routinely lets doctors spot potential issues and adjust plans before things escalate. Early action here can prevent long-term problems. Second, balanced living. This is really the foundation. A nutritious diet, which we've covered, plus regular physical activity and good hydration. Getting these habits ingrained early is so important for a healthy metabolism and efficient kidneys throughout life. It's about building a lifestyle that naturally supports health.
So it really is about that whole healthy foundation from a young age, impacting way more than just kidney health.
Precisely. And that ties right into the third point, physical activity. Regular exercise is great for overall health. lowers risks of obesity and related issues, but also directly helps maintain healthy uric acid levels and supports kidney function. Getting kids involved in age-appropriate activities, sports, running around, just playing outside, supports healthy growth all around. Empowering families really means understanding how these daily choices, combined with consistent medical care and monitoring, deeply affect long-term health. Informed choices make a huge difference.
It definitely sounds like this isn't just a passing concern, something you treat once and forget. So, kind of looking at the bigger picture, what does this all mean for the long run? What are those long-term implications parents should really have on their radar if high uric acid isn't managed in childhood?
Yeah, you've really nailed a crucial point there. Understanding the long-term view is key for making informed choices now. If elevated uric acid levels aren't addressed, they can lead to pretty serious consequences for a child's renal health. We're talking kidney stones, yes, but also potentially compromised kidney function over time. And for kids, this isn't just about managing existing damage like in adults, it's about protecting the kidneys as they're still developing and maturing. Ongoing issues early on can really set a child up for lifelong challenges affecting growth, energy, overall well-being in ways adult kidney issues might not because their bodies are in such a critical growth phase.
Wow, that really puts it into perspective.
It does. So proactive steps, lifestyle, checkups are vital for safeguarding their kidneys for the future. And beyond the kidneys, it affects joint health. That chronic joint pain, especially in the toes, knees, elbows, can really impact a child's mobility, their ability to play sports, just their quality of life. Early intervention helps minimize these risks and supports healthy joints as they grow, stopping pain from becoming a chronic limiter. It's truly a team effort. Families and healthcare providers working together. It's not something families have to figure out all alone.
Okay, we have covered a lot today on Have More Babies. From understanding what uric acid is to what causes levels to rise in kids, those often subtle symptoms, how it's diagnosed and treated, and importantly, those proactive prevention strategies for children's kidney health. It's so clear that being informed and proactive is just incredibly important for parents. And it makes you think, doesn't it, about how interconnected everything in the body is, how something that seems maybe minor, like a waste product, can have such a profound, lasting impact on a child's health trajectory if it's not kept in check, affecting everything from growth to just being able to run around and play. It really underlines the huge power of preventative care and just paying consistent, thoughtful attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, knowledge really is power when it comes to your child's health. Staying informed, keeping those lines of communication open with your pediatric team, and actively engaging with preventive health measures, that's the best investment you can make in their long-term well-being and future.
We really hope this discussion has been valuable for you. Now, if you do have concerns about your child's kidney health, or maybe you just want to learn more about uric acid or other important pediatric topics, we strongly encourage you to visit omegapediatrics.com. They have a wealth of information, expert guidance, and resources available there to help you support your child's health journey. It's a fantastic resource. And if you found this conversation helpful today, please do us a favor, like this video, subscribe to our channel for more insights into raising healthy children, and maybe share it with other parents you know who might find this information useful. Thank you so much for joining us today on Have More Babies. We'll be back soon with another deep dive.